but you were still here missing. Lovable, every little thing is gonna be alright. Lovable, just put your hands up, put them in the sky. Lovable, take another drink, we'll fade into the night.
Hello, welcome back to the Rufus MDS channel. Today we're joined by musician Joesef. Joesef, how are you today?
I'm great, mate. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks. For anyone who doesn't really know who you are, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
My name is Joesef. I'm a singer, songwriter, producer from Glasgow, the east end of Glasgow, to be precise. I make tunes, I sing tunes. That's pretty much it. I'm quite a boring guy apart from that.
Well, actually, you've got quite an interesting story because if you look, you've only released 2 EPs, one stripped back EP and another single. However, you only released your first song 2 years ago. If you look back, you can kind of see the hype that was already behind you before you'd released any music. How was that, just bursting into the scene and already having such an apparent fan base?
It was quite funny, to be honest. It was quite funny. It was kind of the plan to kind of try and cause a bit of a ruckus before we even did anything. So it was quite funny that it worked because I was just kind of trying to drip feed some clips onto Instagram and stuff like that. And in Glasgow, it's quite a small place, so it kind of caught fire pretty quickly, which was quite funny. But it was quite. I'm happy that it worked out.
Well, you sold out your first show ever. Where was it? In Glasgow?
Yeah, it was in King Tut's. I kind of had this funny idea to sell out the gig without releasing any music, and it worked. It worked. We used. I was working full time at the time, and I was using my own money to buy like print off flyers and stickers and stuff like that, and we're kind of trying to make it a thing in Glasgow. And I think people just were kind of wondering who the hell is this guy. But I'm glad they came to the gig because I had no music, so mad.
Well, you've already, since then, 2 years ago, you've already amassed over 1,400,000 Spotify listeners and a really devoted fan base. You've done a UK tour a few months ago, and now you're going to be embarking on a US tour. What's that going to be like?
I mean, I'm buzzing to just play in America. Like, I feel like I've kind of grew up watching America from afar, and it's one on the bucket list for me, and I love touring. It's like the best thing I've ever been able to see people like that come and listen to your music and stuff.
Well, now that you're going off to America to perform music, let's talk about a bit of your background. How did you really start making music?
I started making music because my manager, my best mate, he was my best mate. I went to college with him. He kind of encouraged me to write songs and sing because he heard me singing at an open mic night that we went to support our friend, and he was like, I really think you could try and do that, like you could make something of this if you tried. So it was basically just all his encouragement and writing music, and luckily I could actually write a song because I feel like he'd never heard me write a song before, so I could have been really shit at it. But it was basically just because of him. Obviously I loved to sing and I loved music, but he kind of put the fire beneath me, and he was like, you could hang on, like that. People, little plug. Sorry, double pun there. But it had a lot to do with my management, and kind of like that gave me the courage to because nobody where I'm from kind of does that. I'm from kind of like a really working class background, and you're either like a plumber or a fucking, I don't know. There's a lot of like I don't know, like scaffolders. My brothers are scaffolders, so it's just kind of very left field for me to be a singer. So I am glad it kind of worked out because of him.
Well, since then, deciding to write a song, you've managed. I think part of the reason why there was so much push behind you before you even started was because you had a really intriguing sound with hints of jazz, R&B, hip hop, and like lo-fi. It sounds like very familiar and welcoming, but also quite new and fresh. It's really amazing. But
Thanks.
if you look at music that you play and how you play it, do you see your genre blending or like, what's the word, changing, transforming in the future?
I feel like I'm a kind of byproduct of the stuff I listen to. I feel like I'm quite a musical sponge that way. And, I kind of grew up listening to a lot of like soul and jazz, but also hip hop and dance music as well. Like because in Glasgow there's a big dance music scene, so I feel like that influences like my tempo and stuff like that. Or like a lot of my stuff is quite chilled as well. So I don't know. I feel like I'm always listening to music and constantly, and I think that's only going to expand as my taste. I think my taste has definitely changed since I was younger. I don't listen to a lot of jazz as much as I used to. And I listen to a lot of like hip hop and a lot of pop music as well. I do love pop music as well, so I feel like that is quite influential in my melodies and stuff like that. But I don't know. Maybe I'll end up making a heavy metal album at some point if I take a very right turn and lose a lot of fans. But I'm just kind of up for whatever makes me feel like good at the time. Yeah.
Are there any people in particular who you'd mention as influences or artists that you're just enjoying at the moment?
Who am I listening to? I'm listening to a lot of Hiatus Coyote. Do you know them?
No, I've heard of them.
Yeah. The lead singer's got like a solo album. Her name's Napalm, and can't remember what the album's called, but it's like a lot of guitar based, really beautiful harmonies and stuff like that. So I'm a bit of a harmony junkie at the moment. I love like listening to like vocal harmonies and stuff like that. So I've been listening to a lot of that. Been listening to a lot of Phoebe Bridgers.
Oh yeah.
I'm obsessed with her. I love her lyrics. Her voice is absolutely beautiful. But also kind of the old school stuff I used to listen to, like Al Green and the Mamas and Papas and stuff like that. What are you listening to at the moment? I'm intrigued.
I'm listening to Phoebe Bridgers as well. Phoebe Bridgers on my Spotify Wrapped, which is obviously just came out. So it was Tyler the Creator was top.
Love Tyler.
Yeah, he's like my main thing at the moment. Taylor Swift was on there. I think Lil Nas X was on there.
Yes. I love Lil Nas X. He's pretty popular at the moment. I feel like he's like the old generation's like major pop star. Like he's a pure brand new kind of. He's amazing. He's good.
Yeah. Orla Gartland, number 4. I love Orla Gartland.
She's amazing.
I'm obsessed with her. I saw her twice this year. She's fantastic. And
I seen her at Latitude for the first. I'd never really heard of her, and then I seen her at Latitude, and it was like one of those times you just kind of stumble upon something, and it was just amazing. She had the crowd like in the palm of her hand, and her album's amazing. Like she's so good.
Woman on the Internet. I've got quite a lot of physical copies of that, and then SZA.
SZA, that she was my top artist at my Spotify Wrapped.
Good Days is in. I think Good Days is in my top 5 songs. That song, oh wow.
Yeah, that's like I think that's why she was in my top artist. I listened to that song 5 million times. But yeah,
it's just amazing. But SZA. But I think Phoebe Bridgers must have been just missing out. And I think I've been listening to quite a bit. Dodie and Joesef, and so yeah, that was really yeah. I was going to ask actually, talk about Lil Nas X actually. What was it like trying to break into the scene, especially as a queer artist, and learning to embrace that or hide that, or was it really just there from the start?
I've never really felt any pressure from anybody to augment my lyrics or anything like that. And I think being from Glasgow as well, I'm kind of pushed to be honest, and I've never wanted to be disingenuous about my experience. So I never really found any problems with just being truthful about like what I've been through and who I've been with and stuff like that. I think it just came naturally. I'm very lucky that that's the case, because it's a lot of people it's not the case, especially a couple of years ago or whatever. But I feel like we're kind of, it's good to be a musician and be a kind of queer artist at this time, because there's so many like amazing kind of artists that are like that and being very honest in their lyrics, and it's class to be in amongst that. Yeah, the
community and landscape is just so interesting and amazing to be a part of, like now more than ever. Like yeah, and it just reminded me of a moment where we were at your concert at Hoxton Hall, me and my mum, and I can't remember what the name of the song was, but you were singing a song, and my mum looked at me and she said, "I don't think I've ever heard a gay love song before," or something like that. And I can't and like my mum was like, I've never heard like someone talk about that in such a true way or so like unashamedly in the way that you'd hear someone talk about it in a straight relationship. So it was that was
That's
quite
nice.
like quite an amazing moment. So
Yeah, it was probably kerosene. That's kind of like that's like probably my most like honest in terms of like gay relationship and kind of that way. But that's nice of your mum to say that. That's the goal. Yeah.
I think that's the song that made my mum into a Joesef fan. Really enjoyed that concert.
We love that. Yeah,
but
it was nice to see you after it as well.
Yeah. But a bit of a random question. I was just thinking this. The color pink. It's so prominent in your music and like just the artwork, the aesthetic. Like pink as a thing is like the Joesef brand. Just wondered, like, what is pink to you, really?
I feel like it's a colour that's very I don't know, it just stands out. It stands out, especially being. I feel like, and it's got a lot of like I don't know, weight to it. The colour pink, especially being a boy. I feel like boys don't wear pink and all that stuff like that. So, but I don't know. I feel like it's always a colour I've liked, like baby pink, and I mean it's hardly like subversive as a boy, like wearing pink and pink being the brand. But I feel like at one point it would have been. But I just kind of like the colour, and I wanted to. A lot of my favourite artists, like Tyler the Creator and Frank Ocean, like their visuals are very much a part of their brand, and that was important for me to make that a thing. So I just kind of grabbed the colour pink and ran with it. To be honest, I mean, I'd probably look back in like 10 years, like fuck the hell, I should have picked another colour. But I still like the pink, and I like that people notice that the pink is a thing. That was the goal.
Pink's a lovely colour. My YouTube channel banner, I couldn't decide what to put it as, so it's just the colour pink right now.
Pink's amazing.
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned Frank Ocean. I don't know how he didn't make it onto my Spotify Wrapped, because Blonde and Channel Orange are just... Even Endless, wow, they're amazing.
Yeah.
But
he's, I feel like Frank Ocean's like an influence I don't really talk about that much, but I think he's massively influenced my music, especially like the kind of honesty aspect. I remember reading that thing he posted on Tumblr about Channel Orange being about his relationship with a boy, and I was just I was so like flabbergasted, because I was a big fan of Odd Future and hip hop and stuff. It's quite a like homophobic space, and for him to be so like honest about that, it felt pure. It felt like a massive shift. But I props to Frank Ocean, he's amazing.
Yeah, well, that's it. I obviously wasn't around when Odd Future as a thing was like. Well, I wasn't around, but I wasn't really at a time.
You're a baby.
Yeah, it's been amazing to see like how they're actually trailblazers. Like their music, like Frank Ocean, his music and the way that they changed the world. Like I think his music is god tier, but the way that like Odd Future and like Earl Sweatshirt and Tyler the Creator and everyone, the way that they've made it such beautiful space and been so like not ashamed to just say whatever they think, which is amazing.
Yeah, and it was kind of like the first. There was a lot of like at first you didn't really realise, but like there was a lot of like queer artists within Odd Future, like Sid and Frank Ocean and Tyler the Creator. We don't know if that's been confirmed yet, but it just felt so like fresh and new, and I think it didn't really realise it at the time, but their impact is still felt today, and a lot of like in the culture and clothes and stuff like that as well. So
Golf Wang is I love Golf Wang, and he launched Golf Le Fleur like the other day, and that's all beautiful.
Yeah, he's killing it. He's like my idol. He's just everything he does is just amazing. He's so like such a visionary.
Yeah, the creativity, like like I'd say he's one of the most creative people ever. Really, like it's honestly amazing. And I'd love to hear more of the hip hop sounds being pushed in your music. It would sound amazing because you've already got those notes, but it would be amazing to see where your genre obviously progresses in the future. So, we talked earlier about the US tour. I could ask, what is in the future for you? Not only have we got tour, and obviously we will have new music at some point, hopefully, but what does the future right now look like? Whatever you can tell us.
I mean, I'm going to be doing a lot of touring next year. I'm going to be doing like bigger venues in the UK, America. Hopefully, do like a lot of festivals like abroad and stuff like that. I'm working on like a bigger project as well. I can't really talk about it right now, but that will be. You can imagine what that would be.
Debut
Um,
album.
Don't know, maybe that. Like that. But I'm working on. I've got loads of new music. I'm sitting on loads of new tunes, and there will be new music very early on in 2022. So there's a lot going on, but I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing to put it out.
Well, we're buzzing. We're buzzing to hear because you only released one song this year, I think. Was the Spotify single that you did this year?
No, I didn't. It was just fire that I put out this year. I kind of wanted to take my time. I wanted to take my time, and that was the only one I wanted to like put out. So
Yeah. You only released one track this year, but but the fan base is still growing. Like you've gained loads of new listeners. You did the tour, which I said was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The Joesef fan base is stronger than ever, and I only think it's going to progress.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, yeah. So we've got all that to look forward to. Thank you so much. Have a Merry Christmas.
Thanks very much.
How are you going to be spending Christmas? Are you in?
I'm actually going away to a studio for a week, and then I'm going back to Glasgow for Christmas. I'm buzzing to see my mum and my dog and my family. What are you doing for Christmas?
Just staying here. We would go somewhere, but it's not really that kind of vibe this year. So we're just going to have a nice Christmas with lots of Joesef playing.
Well, enjoy it nonetheless.
Joesef Christmas music?
I mean, I would love to do a Christmas album, maybe when I'm like 50 and I'm like doing a residency in Vegas or something like that, like a jazzy Christmas album. I feel like I would kill that.
I think your voice would suit Christmas music beautifully.
Yeah, I feel like I would kill that.
Oh, well, thank you so much for coming on. Really, really much appreciated. And final question, why do you make music?
Why do I make music? Because I feel like it's the only thing that I'm good at, and it's the only thing that I like to do consistently, and it's the only thing that's been the most constant thing in my life since I was younger. So, yeah, because I couldn't do anything else.
Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much, Joesef, for coming on. Make sure to like, subscribe. Well, Joesef, where can they find you?
My Instagram is at Joesef, and the rest, just type in Joesef and it'll come up.
Amazing. You can follow me at MDS on pretty much everything. Thank you so much, and goodbye.
Tell me everything is gonna be alright.